My guys, I know I tell you guys to do a whole bunch of stuff and you guys probably might be thinking, why does he always tell me to do this? Why is he always telling me to do that? Like, does he even do this in the first place to try to be telling me to do something? Yes, I do. I go ahead and I always do things first myself. I always test things out first and then I come back and tell you guys about it. Y'all know that I always come back and tell you guys whatever I find out, whatever I end up finding out. If I try something, how does it work for me? What I discovered, like how things went, what did I do wrong, what did I do right, what did I learn from these experiences? Y'all know I'ma always come back and I'ma tell you guys, because I fuck with you guys and I think you guys fuck with me too. And what I want you guys to really embed in your head is, if you don't adapt, you will not survive. Either we adapt or we die. Not like in a actual literal sense, like if I don't adapt, I'ma die. Like, we're not cavemen or anything like that. We're not anything like that. We're more civilized. What I mean is that whenever I tell you guys, for instance, things related to like dating, when I tell you guys to do this, to do that, to look good, to smell good, to dress well, to know how to talk, like to not be a creepy weirdo, whenever I tell you guys to do these things, it's not because I think it sounds good or I'm just talking out my ass. No, I'm not doing that. The reason I tell you guys this is because I do it myself, and these are things that I used to struggle with, and sometimes I still struggle with a little bit, but I constantly work on these things as well. And then based on the results that I get, that's when I tell you guys, okay, prioritize this, make sure you keep this in mind, you do this, you don't do that. I try to steer you guys in the best way that I can based on what I've seen that works, what I've tested myself, what I've learned from other people, and from the things that I observe when I'm out living my life. And then I just come back and tell you guys about it. So it kind of makes for interesting stories to tell you guys about and some lessons to go with them as well. So if I'm telling you guys either adapt or die, I'm telling you guys this because I had a couple of my friends invite me out 2 nights ago. By the time I upload this video, it'll already be about a week since this happened, but it's still relevant. So I get invited out by a couple of my friends and they tell me if I would like to go skating with them. I've never gone skating in my life. I'm 23 years old. I don't even know how to skate. I've never been in a skating ring. I've never done that shit in my life. So even though I tell you guys, try new things, don't be scared, go ahead and take that chance, I was telling myself, no, I can't be telling my guys this to do this and this and this if I'm not gonna live up to what I tell you guys to do. If I'm not pretty much living what I preach, there's no point in me telling you guys to do certain things. So I went ahead, I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll go with you guys. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to skate. I've never done this before in my life. So I don't know how to, but I'm willing to go with you guys and learn how to do this if you guys can teach me. Of course, they're like, yeah, of course, we'll teach you. No problem. It's okay. We'll make sure we're able to teach you right, because they wanted me to go with them. So of course I get there. I'm kind of like nervous because I'm low-key kind of worried that I might bust my ass really bad. I'm a little anxious, not like scared, but like kind of a little anxious, just a little bit. But I'm like, okay, cool. This is a learning experience. This is something new. Let's try this out. Maybe I might like this. Maybe I might have fun with this and I might want to do it later on in the future again, because this was something that I enjoy doing now. So I go to the skating rink. Granted, I've never done this before in my life and I didn't know what to expect. Once we got there, I quickly realized that where we had gone, I don't know if it was just the night that we went or if this is like just in general, but this location really wasn't like a rink per se. It kind of gave me like a club type of vibe. Like, to me at least, it felt like a club and I was at a club. That's what it felt to me, especially with everyone else who was there. It definitely gave club vibes. I don't like going to clubs. Y'all already know this. I always talk about how I really don't like clubs or parties like that because I think they're really fucking stupid and they're kind of like pointless in my opinion. But that's just me, just because I don't really like clubs. I'm not a big fan of them. This rink gave me a lot of club vibes, from the music to how people was dressed to how people was acting. The only thing that probably was missing was the alcohol. That was it. I don't even know if they was selling alcohol, but that's not the point. The point is, as I'm learning, as I'm almost busting my ass while trying to learn how to do this, how to skate for the first time in my fucking life, I'm quickly realizing that I'm one of the only Hispanic people at that location at that time. Granted, I'm Hispanic. Some people, if you see me in person, some people might think, and actually I've had people think and say to me that they thought I was mixed. They've asked me what my ethnicity is. They've asked me where am I from. They've asked me how long have I been in the US, even though I'm a fucking citizen. They've asked me a whole bunch of crazy shit because I don't really fit into like one category or like one niche with like I identify with like a certain demographic or like a certain ethnicity. I don't really like fit into those like stereotypical categories. Like of a Hispanic, I don't really fit into that category. If you see me out, if you ever see me out in the wild, I don't look like your typical Hispanic male. I really don't. You might think, depending on like where or the time of year or when you see me, you might think that I'm either foreign, I'm mixed, or something else. But Hispanic usually isn't one of them. So once I realized that I'm like probably one of the only Hispanics at that location because everybody else was black. I'm not trying to be racist or nothing, but like literally that's pretty much what I would see. Is like everybody was just like black. Everybody was African American. I have no problem with that. Most of my friends and most of the people that I hang around with and like I talk to and associate myself with are black. Most of my friends are black. The friends of mine who invited me out were black. The school that I go to is primarily black. Like the girls that I like to date are primarily black. I'm not even trying to be funny. Don't get me wrong. I like white girls. I like Hispanic girls. I like black girls. I don't really like Asians. Not like a really big fan of them. But you know, maybe if I see like a really, really pretty Asian girl, maybe that might change. But like, I'm not racist. It's just that I just really like black girls. That's like my thing. That's like my cup of tea. That's what I like. I like light skins, brown skins, some dark skins, some chocolates. But I really just like the light skins and the brown skins. That's just what I like. If you don't agree, then okay, bro, that's fine. That's just like what I like. That's my preference. So not to say that I'm uncomfortable with being one of the only Hispanics, but I'm quickly realizing while I'm trying to learn and while I'm actually skating and like having a good time with my friends, I'm quickly realizing that a lot of the girls who were at the location low-key was like, I'm not sure if it was maybe just me, just because I was trying not to bust my ass because I didn't want to look like a fucking idiot in front of all the pretty girls, even though it sounds kind of funny. But what I was realizing was, even though this wasn't necessarily something that I would like usually do because I don't really ever go to skating rings, or really I don't know any Hispanics who really go skating like that. I just, in my culture, I don't really like, it's not really that like big of a thing for Hispanics to go skating. You don't really see that all too often. They do a whole bunch of other stuff, but skating really isn't like one of them. While I'm realizing this and I'm discovering this, I'm also realizing that a lot of the girls, which are very, very attractive, I'm talking about very, very beautiful girls at the location where I was at, they're low-key giving me the eyes and kind of checking me out, trying to like give me a little bit of attention, or trying to get me to give them my attention. I'm trying hard not to bust my ass, so I really can't like look while I'm skating, because if I did, then that's when I would like damn near fall. So I either had to choose, either focus on skating and not bust my ass, or look and then bust my ass 2 seconds later. I had to choose one. It couldn't be both. I couldn't do both. I wasn't that good yet. I had only learned like maybe 10 minutes before that when this all started happening and I started realizing all of these things. So I really couldn't do that. I didn't have that option. I had to go with plan A. I couldn't go with a plan B. So when I tell you guys it's either we adapt or we die, I'm telling you guys this because you don't necessarily have to go and do the traditional things that most people do. Like, what do they do whenever they try to go and meet somebody new? Most people, what they think and what they do is, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go to the club. Like, that's where I'm finna find my next girl. That's where I'm finna find my next boo, like my next hookup. That's where I'm finna go. That's what most people think. But what I realized after I went with my friends skating is you don't necessarily have to go to the club to find very, very attractive girls to talk to or to try to like hook up with. You don't have to do that. You can go out and do something as simple as like just going skating. You will find some of the most beautiful women you have ever seen in your life doing and going out to places you would have not even considered. because this will be a different type of girl that you probably are not used to seeing out and about. You're probably only used to seeing very pretty girls at a club, not at a skating rink. At parties, not maybe at the grocery store or at the library. At the malls, but maybe not like at the zoo or some other place like this. You don't really think about and consider, okay, you know what? Let's go somewhere else and try to adapt our approach, adapt our way of thinking, or adapt our mindset to try to make things work for us. If I've been struggling and getting these type of results, then I need to change. I need to adapt the way that I do things now so that I can get the results that I want to get instead of the results that I've been getting. I'm telling you, I was skating, trying not to bust my ass. Next thing I know, I got a cute ass light skin. I told you guys, I'm into black girls. I like light skins and brown skins and some chocolates. That's what I like. Don't judge me because I'm not judging you. That's just me. I like all of them, but I just prefer black girls. I'm realizing I got a fine ass little light skinned girl that's like my ideal type, skating next to me, decides to skate backwards, starts bending over like damn near like if she was about to start twerking, arching her back, one hand on basically looking like she's got one hand on blunt, one hand on butt, and then just turns and looks at me while she's doing it. I'm trying hard not to bust my ass, not to look like a fucking fool while I'm doing this. So I'm like, bro, ain't no way this shit is happening right now. Now you might be saying, bro, you fucking lying. How would you know? Because I could tell from the sides of my vision, bro. I can look to my sides and I can see what's going on. And I see her doing this. I'm talking about I can look at her that she's over here skating backwards, bent over, arching her back the way that, you know, you probably want her to whenever you're, you know, getting down and busy, looking at me while grabbing on that ass. And I'm like, bro, I couldn't help but just bust out laughing because I couldn't believe what the fuck was just happening to me at that moment. I'm like, bro, I don't even have to go to a club. I don't even have to go to a party to get attention from the girls that I want to get attention from. Like, granted, if I was single, do you have any idea how much attention I would be trying to get from all these girls? I'm talking about I would be going crazy because I just wanted the attention so I could end up sleeping with them. Even if I didn't want to like have a relationship with them, I would just be going crazy, bro. And I'm talking about from girls that I want to date, that I want to hook up with, that I would sleep with, that I would talk to. The ones that are my fucking type to the fucking T. I'm talking about slim, thick, cute ass face, nice hair, like likes to dress up, in shape. Bro, I'm like, yo, ain't no way this is happening to me. And I really couldn't believe it. Because in the past, before I started, you know, YouTube and really started putting out videos, I was always like, damn, like, I don't really get attention like that. I can't get attention from the girls that I want to date. They're not giving me no time of day. They're not trying to give me no play or whatever. So what did I do? I had to either adapt or die. Not literally, but figuratively, because I would not be able to attract the girls and get with the girls that I wanted to if I didn't adapt. And I didn't adapt my approach, my appearance, and everything about me. There was no way this was gonna happen unless every man on the fucking face of the fucking planet ended up dying and I was the only one left to repopulate. Maybe. And that's even a big ass maybe, because realistically, I don't know if I would have been able to do that. But when I say we need to adapt or die, I'm talking about we need to adapt our approach to how we approach women, how we approach life, how we approach money, how we approach mindset, how we approach our fitness, how do we approach our goals, our ambitions, everything that we prioritize, everything that tries to make us who we are. We need to adapt this in order to try to fit into the goals that we want to look to achieve. There's no point in trying to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again if we keep getting the same results that we don't want. That's literally the definition of insanity. Doing the same things over and over and over again and expecting a different result. It's not gonna happen. You think that if you turn on the stove and you put your hand on it. You think you're not gonna get burned. I don't know how many times you might have to do this. I've never had to do it because I was smart enough not to know to put my hand on a burning hot stove. But if you keep thinking that every time you put your hand down and the stove is on and it's hot, you're not gonna get burned, you're dumb as hell. And you will probably end up doing that for the rest of your life until you somehow figure out that it's gonna keep burning. It's not gonna stop. Therefore, knowing that, I want you guys to try to keep this in mind. Don't be stubborn. Don't be scared to try new things like I wasn't. Even though sometimes it might be a little anxious, you might get a little anxiety, you might be a little nervous with like trying new things, and it's okay. It's perfectly normal. It's perfectly natural to sometimes be nervous, to try something new, to try a different approach, to try something else, because this is new to us. Of course, just like when we first started driving, just like when we first did the first whatever, we didn't know how things were gonna go. We didn't know how good we were gonna be at or how bad we were gonna be at it until we tried it, until we did it, and until we got it done. But after the first time, when you finally first get over it, you finally get over the hump. Now we're like, okay, I'm a little bit more comfortable with this now. Okay, I can low key, if I keep doing this or if I do it again, I might be able to get good at this. So don't be stubborn. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid to try something new. Just like I wasn't when I went to go skating. Don't be scared. You might find this might be a very enjoyable thing that you might like to do. It doesn't have to be skating. You can fucking start going to the gym, even though you probably should, but maybe taking up a cooking class, like starting fucking painting or doing something different that you normally wouldn't do. Change your approach. You know what? I have this goal for myself, but I haven't been able to reach that goal because of these things that I've been doing. Maybe I should try to change what I've been doing to try to get the results that I want. Or I haven't been able to get the girls that I want or attract them because of this. Maybe I should change my look, change how I act, change how I talk, and maybe I might be able to get a girl that I really like. Unless we adapt, we'll never fucking know. And if you don't adapt, you will inevitably die. Please keep this in mind. I'm never gonna come on here and try to tell you guys to do something if I don't do it myself. If I'm not doing it, if I haven't tried it, if I haven't experienced it, if I haven't seen the results myself, I'm not gonna tell you guys to do this. I'm not gonna try to steer you guys in the wrong way, in the wrong path. I'm going to try to help you guys and try to lead you in the best way that I possibly can. And I'm gonna try them first. If I fail, at least I'm gonna come back and tell you guys a story, so that way I'm the one who has to go through it and you don't. But all in all, at the end of the day, try something new. Try a different approach. Try something different that you normally wouldn't do. I wouldn't normally ever go skating. I didn't know how to fucking skate, so I wouldn't have, probably never have done this unless somebody else like dragged me out. But hey, this is something now that I low-key am gonna keep on doing. Who knows, maybe I might find my next girlfriend at a skating ring by accident. Who knows? But we'll never know unless we try. We'll never know unless we go do something new that we normally wouldn't have ever done. If you stuck around to the end, I really appreciate you. Don't stop watching now. Go make sure you go watch my most recent upload. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video. I'm gonna see you boys in the next one. Peace.